This week we've got the North London derby of UK rap, AJ Tracey featuring MoStack and their new single Dinner Guest. Welcome back to Top of the Chops, the series where I take whatever's closest to #1 in the UK that hasn't been done yet and try and show you how to play it on guitar. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, grab your guitars and let's get into it. So this song was produced by The Elements, but it heavily samples the Nightcrawler's track Push the Feeling On. So we're mainly going to be looking at analysing that really. Okay, so the first part we're going to look at is the kind of synth line that's going underneath. Now, this song has no guitar in it again, but what I want to do with songs that don't have guitar in is make you be able to play them all on a guitar. You can literally play it solo, or you can do it with a loop pedal and be able to recognise the song, or people be able to recognise the song straight away. And I think we can do that with this one. There's two parts though that I'm going to show you. So the synth line I'll kind of have as the percussive thing going underneath. I'll record that and then I'll show you the other bits on top, okay? And when I do that, I'll do nice close-up shots so you can see exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to talk you through it now. So the first thing we've got is... Okay, so the rhythm of this is the main thing. So the notes that we're playing are a D sharp, and then we go up to an A sharp, which slides into a B, and then it drops down to an F sharp, okay? So that's on the A and the D string. And what I'm doing, I'm playing with my finger, and I'm kind of, actually between my index finger and my thumb, getting like a 16th groove underneath it. And then doing loads of muting with my left hand. So the muting is really, really important. We need to have our thumb over and we need to have the fingers that we're not using at the time just rested over the frets so that when we're not fretting, we're getting that nice kind of clicking percussion. Okay, so the first thing we were doing is, so it's like a 6 on the A string. Okay, and 2 of those. And then the 8 on the D string comes in on the offbeat. And there's like 3 of those on the offbeat. And then we're going to slide from 8 to 9. And then 2 hits on that. And then the 9 on the A string is doing exactly what the 8 on the D string was doing. There's kind of 3 offbeat hits. So you can see my left hand mute and you'll be able to see it better on a close-up shot. And whenever you don't want, or whenever, sorry, you're using your index finger for a hit, but you still need a kind of rhythm going, I use my thumb as well, so you can kind of see that between the... Okay. That's basically that part, and I'm layering that down first and then playing the vocal melody on top. But I'm also taking some chords, okay, so from the vocal melody, kind of chords that I feel fit over that, I don't want to call it a bass line, it sounds like a bass line as I'm playing it on guitar, but it's quite a high synth, I think, on the actual song. It's like a pluck, well, it's one of those old school kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, you'll know exactly which part I mean. Okay, so the chords, the first one I'm using is a G sharp minor. Okay, and then I'm just dropping my 3rd finger to the D sharp on the A string, so 6th fret. So I'd call that still a G sharp minor, but putting the D sharp in the bass. Then I'm just moving my little finger to the E on the A string, so 7th fret, and playing an E major 7 from there. Okay, and they kind of just serve as the bed for the melody. So I'll show you where to place those chords on top of the melody or underneath the melody, whatever you want to call it. And then the last hit, I'm going to do one more chord and I just do... So everything's in the same area, that 4th and 6th fret, but this time I'm barring the 4th fret from the D string upwards and I'm putting my little finger, or you could use your 3rd finger, on the 6th fret of the E string. So technically I'd call that a B major chord because it's using these notes here from the B major bar chord. Obviously the B isn't in the bass though, so you'd call it /F sharp. And then I've got my major 7 on top, so I'd call it a B major 7 /F sharp. So some interesting chords underneath, but you know, it's kind of just the voicings for them and how they fit with this melody. When I'm doing this, I always kind of play the melody and just feel what kind of voicings will work around that area and still give you kind of the whole tonality of the chord. So yeah, the melody on top, really, really simple. It's just kind of this vocal sample, this chopped sample that goes... So it's literally between the 4 on the B string, the 4 on the E string, and the 6 on the E string, okay? And yeah, it's all finger picked, so put your picks down because obviously to play the chords and that melody on top, you need to be picking everything. And as always, I'm kind of using my thumb and my first 3 fingers. So thumb hitting the bass note, okay? So over the top, I'm going... okay, and again, like finger style, I will play the bass with my thumb and then I will strike the strings with my index finger like it's a pick. Okay, so I'll hit the chord first with all my fingers. Then I'm going to play the melody. I'm going to play the B string and the E string. Okay, but when I hit the 4 on the E string, that's when I'm putting my 3rd finger on the A string, 6th fret, and putting that D sharp in there. So. And I'm leaving my little finger to hammer onto that 6, and then I'm going to strike it again for the 2nd hammer on. So it's... And then I change to my E major 7. Pluck the 4th fret on the B string again. And I use a 6 here. It's almost like that's when the chop in the sample happens, so it's hard to hear what note is actually being sung there. But yeah, I'll put that note there. So it goes, so 4 on the E string and then 7 on the B string. And then this is where I'll put my B major 7 in. So, ooh. And I'll literally hit the chord and then hammer on to the 6th fret from there. So you get, and then the cycle goes back around. So that whole thing slowly. Okay, so even just playing that part on its own, you would be able to kind of recognize that, I think, if you know the song or if you kind of know of the song, but you hear it, you recognize it. So that's a great part in itself, but when you put that over the top of the... it works really well. So if you've got a loop pedal, put that down first because you get the percussiveness of it. You don't have to put any kind of click in or anything. You get that. And then this. Oh, forgot the low note. You know, over the top of that sounds really, really good. So yeah, try both parts separately and then maybe loop them up. You can record them in like I've done here because I still haven't got my loop pedal and my amp. Hopefully that'll be coming soon. I know I say it every single week, but yeah, you can throw it in a loop pedal or you can record it on your DAW and yeah, just have some fun with it. Thanks for watching again, guys. We've got loads of content on our page now from lots of different Veevar guitar teachers. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and don't miss any of the videos. But I'll see you again next week on Top of the Chops.